bed. Fucking. It's gonna be hard though with all these comics everywhere. I have
All right, here we go.
15
Ready?
stacks of comic books all over my bed. 15 stacks because I have room nowhere else.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I got a group I'm sending off to get bound together in some hardcover volumes.
I gotta do that.
All my Secret Wars stuff.
That's a good
All
idea.
right, we are back. This is the Midpoint Marvelous Facts, where we're going to cover villains for you and an item this week. So the first item to be featured on the Midpoint Marvelous Facts. That's a celebration worthy, I guess you could say. We're going to kick things off with someone from a book we just covered. That is Kingpin. Looks to be a villain in the upcoming Spectacular Spider-Man, although you guys will have to tell me, because unless you really force me, I am not reviewing that book again for a while. I'm not just going to keep shitting on books. I want to we try to bring in books that, you guys would enjoy hearing about. So, but anyway, Kingpin is a creation of Stan Lee, John Romita Sr. He's back from Amazing Spider-Man number 50 was his first appearance back in 1967. So he's got some age to him. Some crazy what the fuck facts about Peter. How Trevitt mentioned earlier in the podcast that he ordered a hit on Peter Parker, but the hitman missed and it hit Aunt May instead. This was kind of the chain of events that ended up leading to Brand New Day eventually, where Peter was rebooted,
Back in black.
married, divorced from Mary Jane, and his identity secret. Kingpin was also once blinded, so he was blind for a period of time. If you're unaware of that, he has a couple aliases that he is also known as throughout his time, and that is the Brainwasher and Harold Howard.
Harold Howard.
So
Harold.
There's a couple names Kingpin has gone under before taking the moniker Kingpin. So anything else you want to add about Kingpin? He doesn't really have any superpowers. He's just giant sized, has agility unheard of and stamina unheard of for somebody that size, and obviously proportional strength for his size. When you're that huge of a human being, you fucking pretty goddamn strong. So just pretty naturally. And I don't really know his exact proportions as far as weight and height go, but they usually draw him outlandishly bigger than anybody else he's up
Like
against. You know what I'm saying?
It's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, and like 550 if I had to guess. I don't know. But anyway, we got Shadow King up next. He has a very similar body type to our boy Kingpin. He's somebody we're about to get into next in the book coming up, Astonishing X-Men. But he is a Chris Claremont and John Byrne creation. His first appearance was back in X-Men number 117. So that's where he first popped up. He's actually the first evil mutant met by Charles Xavier, and ultimately was the point and convincing individual, or I don't know how else you want to say it. Convinced Charles, because of his evil nature, to start the X-Men and have a need for the X-Men.
I didn't know that.
He's basically a multiversional. Get into this multiverse shit. My mind gets all fucking warped. Multiversal manifestation of humanity's darkness.
Oh wow!
God damn, that's a horrible sentence.
Yes.
So that's kind of where he derives his power from. It's a multiverse. I'm done saying it. I'm not saying it again. Can't say it 2 times fast. Nevertheless, 7. Multiversal manifestation of humanity's darkness. That's what he is, really. Summed up, he one time for a what the fuck fact for you worked for Hitler. How about that? So that's quite a history for Shadow King there. Ties with Hitler. Yeah, ties with Hitler. The convincing reason for Charles Xavier to start and fund his school in the X-Men. So yeah, he's not a good dude. And we're gonna get to this item I put Trevin on hold talking about back in All New Guardians, and that is the Negabands. And these Negabands are a big deal. I didn't really know a whole lot about them. I'm not super well versed on Marvel space shit, and a lot of what I have read, I've read Infinity Gauntlet and stuff like that. But if I read it again, it would like be brand new to me. You know what I'm saying? I really don't absorb the space information real well because it's a lot of characters that get thrown at you. I don't see them too often, so I don't hold them in my memory very well. But anyway, we're going to get into these Negabands here, spit the bit, and tell you what these things are really all about and why they're a big deal. The Negabands are created by the Supremer, I guess his name is, of the Kree. They're based.
Oh, Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, is that what he is? The Supremer of the Kree.
I call him the Supreme Intelligence.
They're based on the quantum band, so that's what the reason of their existing is for. Could kind of combat the quantum bands. The bands use the energies of the negative zone and the wielder's own sonic energies. Basically, what they do is they increase your strength. They give you interstellar flight abilities. They absorb and manipulate various types of energy, increased invulnerability to attacks, survival in the vacuum of space, no need for food, water, air, or sleep, cosmic awareness for some users, and it says interdimensional travel only when absorbed by Genis. So I'm guessing
what they are, right?
That's warned them at one point in time. What?
The Marvel's version of the Green Lantern ring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a fact here that says, though, there's only 4 sets that have ever been made. The first of which was given to Marvel. So, that Mar-Vel dude, the original Captain Marvel. So yeah, what else you got to mention about the Negabands? You kind of mentioned they're like the Marvel equivalent of a Green Lantern ring. It sounds summing up those abilities. Now that I look back on it, that's essentially.
Green Lanterns get super strength. They get invulnerable. They don't have to go to the bathroom. They don't have to eat. They don't have to breathe.
See, I never knew that about I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan. I buy them when Batman pops up in the issues because I always have fun with Batman Green Lantern team ups. But I'm
a huge fan.
Keep track of either.
The idea of that ring, because imagine putting on that ring. You don't got to eat. You never have to take a shit again in your life. You don't even have to bathe. They keep you clean. That's crazy.
I would miss chicken wings still, even if I didn't have to eat. I would still miss. I would be like, God damn, I'm not hungry, but I want some fucking chicken wings right now.
Because think about it. If you're like a Green Lantern or Quasar is Quasar has the Negabands too. That's why that chick who got eaten in the beginning of Secret Empire, she has Negabands.
Yeah. Yep. So there's about, I don't know if there's more than 4 sets floating around at this point in time. I really don't know how updated these wikis are. I pulled this information off of. Feel free to call me out, tell me I'm an idiot, or direct me to a better wiki site if if you want more accurate facts than what we're spitting out. If you think what we're talking is bullshit, but I just do Google searches for this shit. That's how I find out. For stuff I didn't read or things I need, characters I need to do a little research on that pop up in books and stuff like that. I didn't read the first issue Shadow King was ever in, X-Men 117. I didn't read the first issue of Kingpin, Spider-Man 50, 1967, but that's what the internet tells me. I have reason to believe it, and sometimes Google's not always right, but they're not always wrong either.
What issue was that of Uncanny X-Men 117?
Yeah, 117. Now I'm not sure if he was.
War.
I'm referred to as the Shadow King until much later in the X-Men run, but the character of whatever the hell his name is, we're gonna say it later here, and I'm gonna pull up those notes in a minute. But Amir Farouk or whatever his name is.
Amal Farouk. Yeah.
Amal Farouk. Okay, yeah. He appeared in
God,
that form in X-Men 117.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
was even an evil bastard then. So
I just pulled it up. He's not as fat as they show him in Astonishing X-Men.
yeah.
He looks
He's
kind of
gained
like
some
Kingpin.
size over time. He
He kinda looks like
didn't
Kingpin.
have spider legs then either. So yeah,
I
I think he
pulled,
does too. I thought it was kind of ironic. I ended up picking those two dudes out, and then they kind of have very similar proportional body types, except Shadow King likes to wear that friar's hat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
With the little
does. Those
tassel up
weird
there.
glasses. Those weird John Lennon glasses.
So, yeah, he's a strange looking character. But
I pulled up the issue. I'm looking at it right now. It's Chris Claremont and John Byrne. God, the art is incredible too. He's wearing that same stupid little friar's hat. He's wearing the same suit and everything.
White suit. Yeah,
he's got the
loves
white suit with the purple shirt. He's got that exact same suit on.
Yeah, he's like the Hulk. He never changes his purple pants. But yeah, that's it for Marvelous Facts. Unless you got anything else you want to add about the Negabands, any random facts.
You can make cool constructs like Green Lanterns do. They can do that too.
Do you need two of them to work? Like, because the Green Lantern or the Green Lanterns, the fucking the Guardians, I feel like can't get this thing working unless they have the matching pair.
I think you need the matching pair, which is a good thing that they got that Negaband, because it pretty much renders the one that the Raptors got useless. But then again, it's useless to them also.
Yeah. So, all right, yeah, and now I just realized I kept calling those dudes the Reavers instead of the Raptors. I think you tried to correct me, and I just kept going with Reavers too. So. We're going to go off to Astonishing X-Men #1, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're actually going to go to Secret Empire number 6.
Now I'm thumbing through the old X-Men comics from the 70s. I'm like, damn.
Start venturing down the hole here.
This art.
All right, here we go. We're wrapping this up because we don't got a sign out segment. I'm just going to slide in a YouTube video today.
Cool.
All right, so we are going to wrap this up with our thoughts on Secret Empire number 6, and we don't really sum this entire book up for you like we do our 3 spotlight books of the week. We just kind of tell you if you should buy, borrow, or forget it altogether, and get a just in-depth reason as to why. You want to do the honors this week? Break down Secret Empire 6. Tell us why you'd.
Oh. Nah, I'm good.
I can go off the cuff here if you want me to start, or you're just good on the series.
My off the cuff. I don't know who'd be doing a lesser service. I think I'd probably be doing a lesser service to the book. Maybe, I don't know. I have no clue. I'm totally ill prepared for it. I think you'd do a better job of going off the cuff.
All right. Well, I'll just mention off the bat. I'm sick of the. I think overall of this series, issue 6, I feel is a good effort. Like comparing all 6 issues so far, I think
best one.
Well, really 7. I think 6 is one of the better ones that they've put out since 0 or number 1. But with that being said, like there's a whole bunch of stuff still in the issue that I could do entirely without. And I really wish I wish the pacing of the story would just pick up. Like I'm really bored of reading this event, and usually that's even some of the worst events I've never felt bored reading. Like they've been bad stories or they haven't been necessarily lived up to the marketing hype of it, but I just found myself very bored reading this. And the flashbacks, I don't know what the fuck is happening. They're in hell now. Like they're in hell. I thought Red Skull was dead, so yeah, they're in hell, I guess. But what happened to the other 2 dudes he was rolling with? Where's this strange dude that is hanging out in the tree in a sweater come from, and Red Skull's beating dudes with bats like Negan. I don't really fucking know what's going on there. I wish they'd go in the dark dimension a little more. I find that interesting, but I don't know how much more there is to explore in the dark dimension other than
Well, we got some of
Kingpin.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Other than the surface level stuff we've got, which is Kingpin's doing things for everybody to help him out, and Doctor Strange is digging into the depths of the history of magic to get out of here, out of the Dark Force dimension. I don't know, unless they tell us something other than that, I want to know more. You know what I'm saying? That's all they mention again in this book is exactly what we know. That goes. It's weird that they try to really separate the whole Nazi thing from this Hydra thing, but then they go and put a Nazi flag in the middle of the issue. That doesn't really help matters.
Where was that? Oh yeah. Here
it was
is.
like
it's a flashback.
Shit. Yeah.
I think
the art is just so inconsistent for an event book. Like, and they don't ever answer cliffhanger, and they don't give you answers to the cliffhangers from the previous issues, fucking ever. Like, they don't tell you who this old guy they rescued is from the last issue. The one credit I will give them to is they do show you the Hulk, which was a cliffhanger for last issue, but they don't tell you how he's brought back. They do mention it. He's only brought back for a certain period of time. But you never find out why any of this is.
No, you never find out
just
why.
So frustrating.
You never find out why he gets brought, how they brought him back to life, or anything like that.
Or why it's only
brought him back to life.
Like,
Caps, and he has the conversation with them.
Yeah, Cap's just talking shit to him to get him to Hulk out, and I didn't get how he hulked out in the end either.
I'm looking at last issue here of the stuff done by Rod Reese, and it looks like him and I don't know. That's Bucky, right? Is that Bucky and Sam that's with him?
Yeah, Bucky and Sam were with them last issue.
Now, Bucky, what happens? Sam steps on a fucking like a trap, and he gets sucked up in a net. Bucky gets hit with a dart in the neck and passes out, and then Red Skull clubs Steve over the head, and then next thing you know, he wakes up, and you don't know where Bucky or Steve is, but Steve's like laying upside down next to some dude we don't know.
Yeah.
And he said, I think he's just having a fire. I don't think it's exactly hell, but like, what the fuck though? Like, what happened to Sam and Bucky? Like,
they're not giving you any hints about where this is. They say it's hell now, which I don't think it's fucking hell.
I don't know where it is. I have no clue.
Yeah, they've teased this for 6 issues. Give us something. Tell us where it is. Like, yeah, there's nothing. Like, I thought it was Ultimate Steve Rogers at first. He's popping up in Ultimates 2 this week, so it's not fucking him. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
I have no clue. Where does it take place? What's going to happen? And then they had that one shot that with with the Spider-Man and the Black Widow stuff. But then I thought it was going to be a companion book, and we were going to get a few issues to tell that story. But they seem to have a one shot, and now they're partially telling that story in the regular Secret Empire issues, and it's like, come on, like, do we really need 3 separate stories going on inside of an event? We got 2 backups that begin at the beginning of the book, and sometimes they happen in the middle. Like, it's so disjointed, like, it just makes no sense.
Yeah,
like, why wouldn't they just keep it in the
reason to book? Where things are put in the course of the story? Did you understand how basically when Banner and Cap are talking, Banner basically reveals to Cap, like, listen, you're not going to get it out of me. Like, it's not going to work. And then all of a sudden he gets it out of him. Like, he's like, I'm not talking to you. And all of a sudden the Hulk comes out. Like, what, did you get that?
Hold on, wait, let me go and look at it real quick, because I see the first part of it, the weakness. What is he trying to get out of him?
Traitor shit where Ant-Man's just like, yeah, I'm the traitor because they have my daughter. I'm so sick of people like just still, I'm Hydra now. I'm Hydra.
I thought him and he's not Hydra. He was just, he just sabotaged them because they, like, we got Cassie will kill her.
But like, I mean, is just like everyone being betrayed. Like, there's no effect. It doesn't have an effect on the story anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I don't know. That's the whole reason why the Hulk was tearing up their base. But,
well, because of Hawkeye. Because he's going after Hawkeye.
Well, yeah, he's going after Hawkeye, but he's also tearing up the bait. The reason why they know where they are is because of Ant-Man.
Yeah,
From
no,
all over.
yeah, and they made it look like Mockingbird last issue, and then it's revealed to be Ant-Man this issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would have thought it would have been Quicksilver because he's a cocksucker and he's always doing shit like that because he has some weird
Yeah.
obsession with his sister. Like, they have
Yeah,
my
I
sister,
knew
I
it
want to
wasn't
fuck
going to
my
be any of
sister.
the obvious
Like,
people they were arguing over. You know, like, oh, it's you, oh, it's you. It's never like the people who they point to and say it's
yeah, I
them,
really
you
didn't
know?
expect
You
it.
know what
I
I'm
didn't
saying?
expect it to be Ant-Man. I want to go back to the beginning a bit because I want to go to this Doctor Strange Daredevil stuff because if you're reading the Doctor Strange book, like I don't know when that the Doctor Strange story, the Doctor Strange Secret Empire tie-in, I don't know when the fuck that is taking place in relation to Secret Empire number 6 because they're obviously not taking place at the same time because Doctor Strange is fighting Baron Mordo and Daredevil is trapped inside of a little force bubble, like a magical force bubble that
Yeah, I remember
Baron
that.
Mordo. Like it just happened in this past issue. Like Doctor Strange number 3, he's still got him trapped in that bubble. Now he's got Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Cloak. Cloak is in this issue too. He's got Cloak trapped in one of those bubbles. So when the fuck does this happen? Like, does this
Yeah.
happen after what happens? Because Nick Spencer, I read he said that Doctor Strange is going to play like this big role at some point, and I'm like, how? When? Are the tie-ins from Doctor Strange gonna match your story in the main Secret Empire story? Because if not, that's fucking stupid. Like, does an
Yeah, you
editorial
got a
think about
character
things
that's
like that?
playing a big role in your event, and you don't know what he's doing in his own book.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous. That just seems ridiculous to me, and I feel bad for I mean, this issue is better than a lot of other issues. It did have its problems, but I did enjoy it for the most part, I guess.
Yeah.
And the biggest reason why I've enjoyed it so much, I think I'm going to have to give Lionel Francis Yu the credit because the art is the only thing that keeps me engaged in this issue. Like, it's
It looks good,
refreshing.
except when it goes to the kids in Black Widow. They look atrocious.
That's different. That's a different artist. That's
I don't know who did that, but that doesn't look good.
Joshua Cassara did that art. I think it's
Ugh,
Joshua Cassara. He didn't, or is it the guy who
that's a
wrote it? Yeah,
bummer. Yuck.
additional art. Joshua Cassara. He's the guy. So Rod Reese does the parts where Steve's in that. I don't know, dream. I have no fucking clue where he is. And then Joshua Cassara, the guy who did the one shot about the new Black Widow's team, he's the guy who does the art for the few pages in the beginning, and then Lionel Francis Yu just does the Secret Empire issue, which he did a fantastic job. Like everybody looks fucking great, everything looks amazing in this issue. The battle with Hulk looked fucking awesome, but that's the best part of the whole entire issue. Like this event, as much as I want to like it, and I like the Captain America run that led to it is not up until like when the event happened. Captain America started to go downhill too. Like that book's not hasn't
Yeah.
not been good since this thing started, and it's just kind of a bust. Like uh, they have so much time to make it right, and it just feels all wrong. It feels like it should have been shorter. Like it's just getting
Yeah,
dragged out.
it is. Do you know what happens at the very end of this book here? Like a bomb gets dropped, and what this chick sends Cap where?
She just sends him away. That's all. Because Carl had that question too in our little chat we got on Twitter. And he was like, where did she send Steve? And I'm like, I don't really think that's gonna be a big like. She just sent him like away from the blast. Like he's just gonna end up like not where he was. Like she
Yeah.
sacrificed herself to save his life, and that was the big moment. I don't think it's gonna be like any kind of plot point that she sends him somewhere else. She just sent him away from the blast,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
which
even know
was
where the bomb came from, really.
that was a big emotional moment for this issue too, because I mean that was heavily seeded throughout. Like every Captain America issue was half flashback, like kind of like the Arrow TV show, half flashback, half what's going on now. And ever since he was a young boy, like she raised him. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
his mind, like that new history that he has. Like she was like his second mother when his mom wasn't there. She was the one who took care of him, brought him to the Hydra school.
I don't know if I wasn't reading it close enough. I didn't know there was like this big nuke type bomb coming in to blow the whole place up. Did you?
No, I didn't know that either.
Okay, I didn't know if I like started skipping over dialogue. All of a sudden, I see these planes kind of come strolling in behind these Hydra ships, and then next thing I know, there's a bomb dropped. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I don't know.
I think it was just something like just in case maybe the Hulk got out of control, or like I have no clue where it came from. I don't think it was talked about before, and if it was, I might have not have noticed because the issues where Sorrentino is on art, like I find it a little hard sometimes to follow what's going on when he does art, and
I know.
And it bores in the stories, like can be boring enough. Like sometimes his like bland colors, like his like limited color palette, just like bores the shit out of me. So
it did pull you to bed.
It's hard to focus.
All right. This crap. Well, where are you at? You buy, borrow, or are you forgetting this? I'm still leaning towards forget. Just as a sum of the whole, like I don't want to tell someone to go buy issues or borrow issue 6 of the series and be like, think this is what the book's like, because it's not. You got some action in this book finally, but that's the most we've had in any issue so far, and it's not even really a political thriller because I'm not thrilled reading it, you know.
No, me neither. I like the look, the LMDs, the what's his name made, Giant Man made.
Avenger LMDs.
Yeah, that was
pretty cool. That was a
cool thing. The art
like I said, there's cool things in here, but I'm still leaning. I'm a forget it guy for this.
Like he just said, like, you know, it's hard to tell somebody to go borrow issue 6, even though like you did get a little bit of you did get a pretty cool fight, and it was beautifully, masterfully drawn, but it's still a forget it for me.
Good.
Even though I absolutely,
the main story does look the best here.
It does. Like this is the best it's looked throughout since the Ultron issue. Like this is the best it's looked, and that's it. Like that's all I could say.
Yeah.
Cheers to Francis Yu
doing I don't even know if Steve got the fucking shards that he went there for.
He did.
Yeah,
he got the shards.
Yeah, he did. He got them before he fought Tony. That's right.
He's like, thanks for collecting them for me.
Yeah, dirty little bastard.
He's such an evil son of a
all right. Well, Carl, his I don't. We had to restart computers and everything. I don't got Carl's notes up here. Hang on a second.
I know next issue they're going to deal with the Miles vision from Civil War about him killing Captain America. That's going to be the big thing.
What we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, for a year.
Carl's got it as a borrow, so he says it's hard to give this book a good rating because it's part of an event that hasn't been hitting for him. He says the event he'd been hoping for was waiting for a good issue in this event. And while he thinks this is the best that we've gotten so far, he's not sure if people are, you know, really enjoying this book unless they're reading every single tie-in. And I'm not even sure that will add to the enjoyment because, like you said, you know, they don't seem to really be meshing very well on all fronts, at least as far as Doctor Strange is concerned.
So he feels the same way, kind of, but he gave it a borrow.
Yeah. He's like, I refuse to give this issue a forget it because it was a good read.
It was.
With scenes that were hard hitting, and one scene where if you've been following this from the beginning, he was hit especially hard. I'm sure he means the Madam Hydra stuff at the end there. Being that I can't give the 6th issue of an event that we're more likely halfway through a buy. We're just past the halfway point. We got a 10-issue story and then an Omega issue to wrap this thing up just yet. So we're getting there, and we got issue 7 next week to wrap up the month of July before we get the rest of the story in August, I think is how it goes. Are they pushing this to September?
What do we got? What is it? Issue number 6. Then we got 7 next week, 8, 9. I think there's number 10 and Omega in September because Legacy I think starts in like October, November.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm counting down the days till Legacy myself. I want to see what's in that book and see how it's. Hope it charges my batteries a little bit here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got one more issue with Niven and one with Acuna, and then I think the rest are Sorrentino. I think.
Yeah. So that's the art team. Keep switching. But we're gonna throw in a sign out segment here, guys. These are. Let me know if you like these or not. These are going to be one of the Marvel Too Long Didn't Read videos that I just nip out and do an MP3 and slide it in here. So let me know if you like them, if that video translates well to audio. It basically is going to sum up a a trade paperback type story for you. And I'm going to throw, we're going to start things off with the Planet Hulk story. Kind of jumping off the back of the Thor Ragnarok trailer that was just released. That's kind of a loose adaptation. I can't say that word either. Of that story a little bit. So we're going to put a Planet Hulk Too Long Didn't Read in there. Hope you enjoy that. But before we sign out, you guys looking to get a hold of us this week, you can always find us at Madness Marvel 1 on Twitter. That Twitter account is popping at all hours of the night. You can hit us up on email at madness. Nope, that's Marvel Madness at Scratch that. Email is marvelmadnesspod@gmail.com. Tongue-tied here, and it's getting late. But we're going to run down the books we're doing for you next week and what you can look forward to. Spider-related, I'm going to do Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider #5. Hero-related, we picked for Carl, and he is going to do on our choice, Punisher #14. And what are you gonna choose for us, Trevor, in your IVX section?
I'm gonna do X-Men Blue #8.
Yeah, you check out that cover. I told you to check out that book.
That awesome author Adam cover.
She's looking pretty damn good on that cover. I'll tell you what, boys. Hide that one from the wife. She's not going to be too happy with it. And then the fourth book we're going to do is we're going to give you another Secret Empire summary, and that's going to be issue 7, which drops next week. So if you haven't got enough of Secret Empire, you get a little more next week. And if you had enough, well, you can skip right by that and find out what books we're going to be doing the week after that for your listening pleasure. But that's it. We're going to wrap this party up. If you're looking for me and Trevitt, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at bmer3660. Trevitt, where are you?
I'm at Afronaddict.
And Carl, I think, is Carl Hamlin at Carl Hamlin, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're correct.
So those are our individual accounts. You can follow us all there. Rate and review us, all that good stuff. Party is over on this end. We're signing out. Till next week, thanks for listening, guys. Sayonara.
Peace.